Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Stud and Dud presented by the Dallas School of Music. Thank you all for listening. With me each week, it's Dr. Bob Lawrence. What's up, Doc? How you doing?
Feeling better, man.
Just making sure we're recording. We had some technical difficulties this morning. Josh Smith, by the way, we're talking, obviously. You know who this voice is talking. Goddamn. Anyway, what's up? Some technical difficulties. We may not have almost recorded this morning. You were using it, and then
the computer crashed. And then, we've all been there, right?
Technology.
I mean,
we've all been there. I hate technology.
It's the worst.
I hate it.
I do it. It happens to me all the time. I'll be right in the middle of that's what sucks. And it hasn't happened to me when I was in say middle of a trade, but I'm trade stocks. That is my worst fear.
Yeah.
Your trade. It happens. It kind of get a glitch for a second, but it freezes for like 5 seconds, and I'm back. But every time that happens, my butthole. It's just your heart sinks. You're just like, oh no, okay. But when that happens, that's why I can't. That is my worst fear as a stock and as any stock trader. Your computer freezes, and you're just like, and then you're pulling out your app. You're like, thank God they do have apps now. But anyway, real quick, have you heard him talk a little bit? And perfect time back for the Grammys. Thank you for joining us. Legacy Music Group back again for the second time. The Godfather. I'm going to call you that every time you're here.
Here we go.
Maddie Medlock and, of course, Ray Dallas. Thank y'all so much for joining us again.
Yeah, for sure. Glad to be back.
Yeah, it's perfect timing. Talk a little music today. A little crazy. We'll preview real quick what's to come. We're not going to do a little What's Up, Doc, but we will do.
No,
we'll
I want to focus on these guys.
I know, but I do want to because I did see one. Tweets of the week. We'll kind of
Tweets of the week.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You started it last week. We'll continue that this week because that's not too long. I got a good one for this week.
Oh, you got a good one
Got
this
a good
week?
one for this
All
week.
right, man.
We'll briefly do a recap and preview. Got sports. Super Bowl's coming up. Get these guys' take. I know they got some Cowboys fans, so let's see what they think about the new coaching situation and see what, I want to see what they think, their take on it. Also, we'll do, it's kind of music time, so we'll talk a little bit more about music. Obviously, we just previewed it in the little live, what we go on Instagram. But the best albums of all time, the best 50 top best. I can't even talk right now. The 50 best sell. Can you see this? I can't even get those words together. 50 best-selling albums worldwide of all time was just redone. They tried to recalculate it. We'll go over that, and then it is definitely time for the chamber. Yeah, we're going back, gentlemen. But this time it sits atop of Mount Rushmore.
They've been prepping for it.
Yeah, we're ready.
They know.
That's fun though. But this time
they've been having trial runs down there at their office.
But they haven't dared into the wintry slopes of Mount Rushmore, so they have to dive in deep.
Yeah.
So this weekend we'll go and give our own. We'll go to the Mount Rushmore best albums, our own of all time.
That's very difficult.
Yeah, and it is. Mine wasn't too,
is.
actually, but there's a few. Well, it really is. There was like 4 or 5 I could have put in with that 4 or 5. It's like when we do those, we've done this in the past. We've had quarterbacks to whatever. There's a few that you could probably, like running backs, that you could have 2 or 3 maybe even. There's a few different ones where you're like, really, you could argue him, you could argue him. There's a lot you could argue.
Right.
So we'll have.
And sometimes you don't even have to argue. You just like somebody.
Yeah, well, you don't exactly. You're
right?
just
saying,
I just like the way he plays.
Right, exactly. But first, have you seen it? I just had to go over a few different things. This guy last week jumped. I have no idea if y'all saw it. Man jumped off a docked ship, like a huge cruise line. A year to the day after a guy did it on a Caribbean cruise line, but he did it like in the middle of the water. Guy, he thought he was drunk. Well, he was drunk, having a good time. Jumped off 11th story of a ship right into open water. Luckily, obviously, he could probably die, but went far enough out to read.
He's pretty lucky,
yeah.
man. Because that's like hitting concrete.
Oh, yeah,
that high up. Everybody thinks, water.
Water.
No.
Unless you go on like a toothpick, which still at that height would be so hard to do, and even then, your feet are probably going to be.
Hitting
Anyway,
concrete.
It is.
That's my biggest fear. That's why I don't want to do a cruise.
Well, you don't got to jump off, right?
You know what?
I know, but I get drunk, so I don't want to do it.
I'm with you, right?
Yeah.
It's like, is this where we jump off?
This is where but still, it's just that fear, Or you get bumped or pushed.
Yeah.
You're like, because I would be that way. I'm not getting that. It depends on where the edge is. I was like, I am not getting that close because
Here's the
freak
problem.
stuff
Here's the problem with cruises, right? Here's the deal.
What's up?
Tornado is always going to hit what?
Land.
A trailer park.
Oh, a trailer
Don't
park.
live in a trailer park. You're going to get hit by a tornado.
For the most part.
Don't go on a cruise ship because somebody, maybe you, are going to fall off or jump off and die.
Or could get abducted. All the
right?
Hurricanes.
Exactly. Run into a storm, and I've seen some of those ones recently when they're on the cruise lines and they run into those huge storms and those waves and the boats and I'm like, oh no way.
I've never been on a cruise. Have you guys?
Not me.
I'm not doing it.
I never will.
We're cruiseless here.
Sounds
which is
like
good.
we need to take the podcast to
Here
a
we go.
cruise one day.
Legacy Music Group meets Stud and Dud on the cruise line. Everyone join up.
But we don't have to jump off.
I'll Skype in.
Yeah,
man.
right.
Yeah.
From land.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because this guy, like the guy at last, this guy did die. So because he jumped off.
Oh wait a minute, the guy that jumped off from 11.
Just like a week, in the last
he
week
died.
is the same. Yeah, he died. The guy that obviously jumped in because he jumped in open water.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
obviously,
Okay,
but-
all right.
And
he
was
wasn't. He wasn't lucky.
Yeah, no, this second one wasn't. So we're 1 for 2. So you're 50-50 when you jump.
No.
So yeah.
I'd rather be 100%.
Yeah, right, yeah,
good
well, yeah.
on land.
Yeah, actually, it's far less than that.
Oh, I'm sure it is, but
It's
when you
like
cut
people
doing the
jumping
numbers.
off the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah,
like they
exactly.
keep stats on that. It's like
It's slim.
like a 1% or 2%
Yeah.
that actually survive.
Survives.
that.
Especially the water you're jumping into. You don't realize that either. You know what I mean? It's one thing you get my point. You see, you're
To survive the fall, but then get yourself
yes, that
back to
we've
land.
never been because we've been on a cruise, but I've only seen the videos. We have imagine 300 miles out in the ocean. What that's like. That and then surviving that chop.
Yeah.
That chop. So yeah, he's lucky. He really did after he jumped. I didn't see how far out he was where he jumped, but you're pointing back to your point.
And from the time they jump to the time they hit,
Oh, they
the
were like,
thought through their mind is,
what was I thinking? Oh my God! I better.
shit.
not
yeah.
one of my better moves.
Yeah.
Real quick, I saw it coming. Eli Manning retires. Obviously, it was kind of like all saw that certainly coming to an end. Yeah.
Cool. I saw some funny memes.
Yeah,
of,
that's exactly,
Jason
yeah.
Garrett going
That's
there.
exactly what I saw,
and
too.
Eli retiring.
Like,
so
okay,
it's pretty,
we got
pretty
Cowboys coaches coming in. I'm sure you didn't see that
good.
thing,
I
but it was,
got a good laugh at that.
Yeah,
so.
that was where I did see the good laughs. But real quick though, last week, he didn't see this. I'm sure y'all saw OBJ with the butt slapping incident.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yes.
Well, the charges were dropped. The police officer
I saw
that
that.
ended. Yeah. Okay. So did you see the news story? Your main man, AB,
Oh,
back in
yeah.
the news again.
Call me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, he needs someone. He's like, please, someone call me. I need help. And anyway, multiple lawyers right now are saying, call me.
You know, it's a weird thing about that guy. The more I don't know, I'm starting to like him. I don't know.
But
what
did
the
you see
deal
the
is.
incident?
I know he's a bad.
He's certainly a terrible person.
He's just
I
got a
think
bad.
He's mentally out of there
He
right
is.
now.
Something's not
Well,
right.
we
Yeah.
had Kent Chef
Something's not
Kent
kicking up
Rathbun
here.
on.
Right.
But my point being, he did this to a chef. Remember, I just brought this up like 2 years ago, where he had do an event, had just like this, where he hired
Oh, and
people,
wouldn't pay 'em.
and then didn't pay them, and was kicking them out and beating them on the way out.
Wow, I didn't know
Yes.
that.
And it's not
Same
like he
exact
doesn't
thing
have
happened.
the money. You know what I'm saying? I think the argument this week was over $4,000.
Yeah, it wasn't that much. Yeah.
You know, multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
And they were bringing.
Well, did you see his latest?
His belongings
What did you see?
to
He's
him?
released a CD. Speaking of which, have you seen that? He's
I
got into the rap
haven't.
world. Have you seen that he released a CD?
No, I haven't.
He released a
It's
CD.
out?
Yes, it's out. And on his at one of his latest shows, I read and that's what was like. The guy was like kind of funny for someone who doesn't have a steady profit income or whatever anymore. At the show, what he was doing, I'm sure to attract people, he has, I don't know if it's a gun or if he's just doing this because there weren't pictures. I should have looked up video because I'm sure someone's got it. He is pretty much handing out. He was throwing out or handing out whatever he's throwing
Like
out money.
$100 bills or
yes,
something?
Yes, to the crowd. However, he's throwing
Oh,
money.
he did
out.
a show?
Yeah, he's doing live performances now. Anyway, yeah, well,
Interesting.
Yeah, very.
I think it's all a cry for attention.
That's
or
what I'm saying.
help
That's
or-
what I'm getting at,
Yeah.
man. I bet underneath all that, man, there's really a good guy.
Yeah, I think
No.
so too. And he's
Yeah.
a good athlete.
I do.
You know?
Well, certainly
I
a great
really do.
athlete.
Yeah,
it's-
great
it
athlete.
sucks.
I think
Yeah, it does.
I think that kind of behavior is a scream for help, man.
Yeah.
Stay clear of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Wow, are you kidding me? That
Co-
is just
what?
the coronavirus over in China. It's killed and now it's slowly spreading. It could be the next SARS. I mean, that's killed like 700-800 people over in China.
What?
Yeah, yeah. These people are so I love it. Into music, they're like,
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know
like,
nothing
it's-
that's going
yeah,
on.
I know.
You didn't hear about that?
yeah.
No.
No, I
And
didn't
it-
either.
and it hits-
And it's weird. It's called Corona. I hate
Yeah.
that they put that name in
Yeah,
front
and
of
I
it.
was thinking beer.
Beer, but no.
I'm like,
No,
No,
and
it's-
here's
it's
the
a-
scary part.
Uh-huh.
It's the black population is susceptible to it.
Really?
98%, dude.
Yeah,
Really?
Yep.
Oh,
It-
yeah.
that's why I was like,
Oh, yeah.
regardless, it is.
Oh, yeah.
How do you catch it? Is it airborne or?
I was joking there, man. 'cause
Oh,
I was
yeah,
trying to
this
freak
guy.
out.
I was like, is he joking or what?
That's why I was trying to go back. I was like, no. I was like, no. But regardless.
Because he's like over
Oh,
going
no. I'm
like,
like, you
I'm
just gave him
nervous.
a heart
Yeah,
attack.
man.
And now you just gave him a heart
How
attack.
many black, I'm like, how many black people are in China?
Yeah, I should have thought about that. Like, wait a minute.
oh, wait a minute, the NBA's over there, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
true.
Yeah,
Come
well,
on now.
Okay,
Yeah.
anyway, regardless, yeah, it's definitely spreading. It's scary. So why? Yeah, it's.
So yeah, man, no worries.
God. I was like, what the hell?
Nice.
God.
Rest in peace, Mr. Peanut. Speaking of which, people dying. Did y'all see this little tidbit? I'm sure y'all hadn't been so dove into music, but they did this. Have you even seen it? Probably. Only reason I saw it because I watch the news every once in a while, and I caught it because all the news. I saw it like on two different news, right, one after the other. But anyway, I guess they just released a commercial with Wesley Snipes, and I forgot who the other guy is. It's a funny guy, but it's Wesley Snipes and someone else, and they're on that big Mr. Peanut thing, like the what's the wiener thing? What's
Oscar Mayer.
But they have a big peanut one, and they're going down the road. They're touring for whatever. I don't know if they're heading to the Super Bowl or what, because hadn't seen the commercial. I just see what happens because they're talking about it in the background. Anyway, it goes over the cliff. The
peanut does.
The big peanut truck. Well, here's Wesley Snipes and the whatever, and Mr. Peanut's on the edge. Well, it's one of those situations you see in movies. Mr. Peanut doesn't let go. They all die. So Mr. Peanut sacrifices himself. It's like, I'll let go, guys. I'll let go. So he falls. And they're like, well, maybe because he's a peanut. Well, maybe he's okay. He's a peanut. Boom. He falls right down to where the thing fell down to in a big explosion. So now supposedly Mr. Peanut, rest in peace, because he was 104 years old. They started him out in 2016.
Oh, they're going to discontinue him?
Well, supposedly, but now they've got a spot, and they already, supposedly, it's in the third quarter. They're letting everyone know, get ready for the third quarter. And they're going to do something for Mr. Supposedly, he's not supposedly going to be dead. It's just something that keeps people... Like AB, keeping you get my point. Trying to keep
like
your attention.
What rebirth of Mr. Peanut.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gonna have a new top hat on.
I'm sitting here just thinking like we care because.
Yeah, I know.
Who cares?
They want us to.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I just saw.
Right? I got
I
way more.
kind of care, man. That's an icon. Man.
Yeah, he's been around for 104 years.
Bro. You can't kill off. You can't do that.
All right. Here, let's get to it though. For real, it's the first one.
The virus. Nah, he's not worried about
Okay.
it. Mr. Peanut, are you kidding me?
Right, exactly.
Tell me more.
Tell me more. Tell me
I was
more.
fully engaged with what was going on. I was like, wait.
Tweet of the week. Let's get to it. Found this one, and it's actually, you always run into stuff, and sometimes you run into some that are just, a few months old, just because they're always resurfacing for whatever reason. And so this one's back right around Thanksgiving. It's from what's funny. It's from at Brody M. Smith. And what just had to throw a shout out. Avery's first dog, our son, essentially, what we call him. Our oldest dog, he's 13 now. Is Brody, now Smith, which is funny. So I was like, that's kind of funny. It's from Brody Smith. So anyway, here's the tweet. This is great. Every year, Ashley reminds me that I broke up with her on Thanksgiving in 7th grade. It's my favorite tradition. And then he literally shows, and then it's the picture it's a screenshot of her texting again on Thanksgiving. Remember when you broke up with me 9 years ago and then I couldn't eat on Thanksgiving because I was so heartbroken? Because I do. He then texts back, this is the 8th year in a row that I've apologized. How many more is it going to take?
Did she respond?
No. No.
She's like,
it's
8
literally
more.
empty. Yeah, literally. She's like this, like, nope, I'm just going to keep doing this until you have a wife. And then I'm still going to keep doing this. But I was like, that is hilarious.
That's funny, man.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to it. Recap and preview. Certainly, you're interested in the Super Bowl. Did y'all being so dope? The Indel.
Oh yeah. We do keep the football games on.
Making
in the studio.
sure.
Yeah.
So y'all liking your outcome? Obviously not the Cowboys. And are you liking the head coach? Because he likes McCarthy. It's about as good as you're going to get probably out there.
It's about as good as we're gonna get. I also kind of think we know what we're getting, so that could go. I think left or right. Certainly excited. It's going to be more than just Jason Garrett spitting loogies and clapping. So
Right.
I think we'll have some fun football to watch. Winning a lot more games. I'm not really sold on that just yet, but I'm excited to see him coach. And
I can't remember. Is your team Dallas too?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. So how you feeling?
Same way.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I just didn't know if y'all were in correlation
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Everyone's feeling the same down at Legacy Music Group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. That's nothing to get too hurrah.
I mean, not overexcited, but
Yeah.
definitely.
Not like
looking
really we hire
forward to
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm nervous about it, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're one's gonna tell
Because
everything
now who
too.
you gonna blame? You can't blame Garrett no more.
Yeah. Oh, and I think
Now
for
it's back
the
to
longest,
Jerry.
yeah. Oh, I know. I've said that for the
Blame
longest time.
Jerry
He needs to
now.
maybe step aside and let his
Yeah.
daughter and his son run the show. But
They said that there was talk of that and that Jerry mentioned a lot of we instead of
Yeah.
me, but
yeah, it happens.
We'll
Unfortunately, he's
see.
got a huge head, and understood so. He's kind of raised the most expensive.
speaking of
most-
Jerry, did y'all see what he bought this week?
Huh.
He bought a new $250 million yacht that he's taken down to
Nice.
Miami to park for the Super Bowl.
I can't believe it's. I mean, that's like
2 helipads, gym.
A gym?
Yeah.
it's got to be one of the biggest in the world for sure. I'd
Yeah.
imagine at that
It's painted the
price.
Cowboys color, silver and blue.
Nice. There you go.
And
Hey, when
he-
you have that kind of money, you get because I mean that's what I'm saying.
$250
It
million
is the
on a
most
boat.
that franchise still to this day. When's the last time they won a Super Bowl?
Right, 20 years ago.
Yes, and regardless, they are still the most profitable
Profitable.
champ in the world.
Yeah, of all sports.
which is nuts. So you
It
got to
is.
give him his due. It's same, which is crazy. When I went to Colorado, I went to Denver for Christmas and New Year's Eve. We would try to go out there a lot. Avery's my wife's from Littleton, which is a suburb from there. Anyway, was talking to when we were there talking to family. That's like the talk there because I love Broncos, but I'm not just diving into all the little ins and outs. And of course, when you're there, you're going to hear it. Well, that's the same talk there. They won it supposedly. Pat Bowlen, who obviously Bronco, he was their main owner, who's gotten them where they've gotten, which is ridiculous, for especially being in Denver.
Yeah.
Anyway, he fell under ill last few years, yada yada yada. He hadn't been pretty much owner, of course. Now it's finally passed. He kind of handed the reins over to the guy that was under him. Well, everyone kind of wants him to step back, and wants which is funny, wants his daughter, Boland's daughter, to take over. Like, really? I was like, it's funny. Same thing over in Dallas. They want son and daughter to run the show, and Jerry said, I mean, it's a lot harder there because obviously Boland's passed, unfortunately, but it's totally different situations. But yeah, it's kind of the same. Funny how they're both in the same kind of shoes, where someone needs to kind of let go of the reins and let someone else.
If I was Jerry Jones, you know what I would say about all this talk, because you hear about this talk all the time.
All the time,
right? You know what I would say? I would tell everybody, bite off. I own the team.
Oh yeah,
I paid the money.
Oh yeah,
I'm the boss.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
So
he gets to do it as long as he wants to. He's raised that beast, so he can do that.
I mean, honestly, if I invested that kind of money, it was my organization, my franchise, dude, man, I'd be hands on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it'd be hard not to.
And a good point that this old guy at the barbershop was talking to me about. He was like, "Look, man, Jerry ain't down there on that field coaching and doing all that."
Correct.
And I'm like, that's a great point. Yeah. He's not doing that. And a lot of those situational things, especially in a game like football, strategy, and all that. If you're not on top of that as a head coach, you're going to lose.
Yep. And look, I'll tell you what, everybody gave him grief when he first came on. First of all, he fires a legend, Tom Landry, right?
Yep.
Brings on Jimmy Johnson. They win their Super Bowls. They have their little tiff. Here comes Barry Switzer. They win another Super Bowl, which was really Jimmy Johnson's team. So Jimmy Johnson won another Super Bowl.
Certainly so.
Right? And then after that, what we have, there were some other coaches before Parcells came in. There was,
I can't remember who it was for.
I can't think of his name. I can see his face, but I can't think of his name right now. He went.
There was one guy that lasted like a year or two. Bill Callahan, maybe. There was a couple different coaches.
Yeah. So then Jerry Jones caught all kinds of grief. Here's what the media and everybody was saying about Jerry Jones. He goes through coaches left and right. Nobody wants to coach for him. He can't keep a coach. If the coach doesn't win in a year or two, he fires him. He doesn't give him enough time to develop a system or a game plan or have his team. He's just ridiculous. So then what's he do? He proves everybody wrong. He hires Jason Garrett. How long is Jason Garrett the coach?
Yeah,
a decade?
Yeah, that's longer than a lot of coaches get.
Put his faith in him. Said, dude, you're the coach. I believe in you. I've heard him say that many times about Jason Garrett. I believe in him. I think he's a good coach and yada, yada, yada. Well, now he's getting grief because he kept the coach what?
Too long. Yeah.
Too long.
Yeah. You're damned if you don't. You're done.
Yeah,
but a lot of that on Jerry, they're going to have something wrong with Jerry no matter. I mean, even when we win a Super Bowl again and maybe, Cowboys are on top, they'll always be.
Oh, that's media for
drama.
sure. So I'm out of that.
Media with
Constantly.
Jerry.
Yeah. All right, let's past the Cowboys. Let's get to the two teams that are still in it. How do you feel?
True.
Let's get to the Super Bowl. How you guys feeling about that, and who you for?
Go ahead, Ray.
I'm with the Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
Because we worked on Madden, and he's on the cover. So
Mahomes.
It'll blow up that Madden.
Yeah, one of the game tracks on Madden we did at Legacy.
Awesome. Which it would be?
It's what's it called?
Risk by Playing Skills Designer and Yellow Beast.
Nice. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's the one thing I love about Madden.
It's not called Risk. It's called something.
It is
else.
Risk.
Oh, okay.
That's what I love about Madden. They've always put small. They don't get maybe one or two. They always put those. They're not putting like headline songs. They're not putting
like Kanye.
Yes, exactly. They're going to get some of those mid,
like
smaller
middle.
Yes,
right.
I love it. That's what I've always kind of loved. And even 2K's done that a little bit.
Yeah.
But I love how the music that they kind of correlate with. But that's cool. That's awesome. I know y'all did that, but I forgot.
I don't really have a favorite. I think it's going to be a great game.
I'm hoping so. Certainly so.
Probably a lot of points. I do think San Francisco might have the edge with defense, and if they can get to Pat, it's going to be hard for him to sit back there and just
pick him apart,
do what he does so good.
But he does. That's the one thing about him. He can get on the run and kind of hurt you. So as long as he can contain, that's the two little.
And Kansas City scores so fast. It's like even Tennessee when they run the ball and how they beat New England and Baltimore. When Kansas City can score in 4 plays, who cares if you hold the ball 9 minutes?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Yeah. So you can't defeat them that way, which is the traditional way to beat a fast-paced team. But I mean, they'll get the ball on the 20-yard line and be in the red zone in literally 2 minutes or less.
It's one of those offenses. Yeah, you got to play good D. I mean, you definitely are.
So
you're going to be.
You got to stop. Yeah, exactly.
You got to play some good defense. I'm hoping for good. We're due, and I've seen this. It seems like, and I was saying this for a few weeks ago, but we had such great games in the wild card, and then we had not so great games at all in the divisional. I was like, we're due. It usually goes back and forth, and then we didn't get them in the championship round. This last, the really games weren't that good at all. They were pretty bad. I'm like, Super Bowl's got to be great. It's got to be great.
I think it will be.
So
I think it's going to be
ready for
be in Miami.
yeah.
Great weather.
Hard for me to root for the Chiefs being a Broncos fan, so I'm definitely for the Niners. So that's who I'm going to be rooting for sure. But and you're going still Chiefs, right? Definitely have them.
I'm going Chiefs.
Yeah,
I'm going Chiefs.
It's hard to go against them, especially from the beginning of the year. They had that little lull for a minute. Now
first time since 50 years back. I like the Chiefs back in the Hank Stram.
Yeah,
days, man.
that's what. Yeah,
I love Andy Reid.
And I like Andy Reid.
That's the
man.
thing too. He's due.
He's a football genius and
Yeah.
doesn't get credit because he didn't have a ring, and so
He's got to get one.
This will push him.
Even if they didn't get it this year, which would I'd just be like, wow, poor guy again.
Yeah, they still got the same team.
Yeah, they're due in the next 2-3. They got to. If not, we'll be looking back. It may be the Bill situation where you're just like, remember the '90s where they went to 4 straight. No one's been to 4 straight Super Bowls. No one ever. They are, and they lost 4 straight. So it's like
I would say if Kansas, if this game was being played in San Francisco, it's a no-brainer.
Right.
49ers win it.
Yeah.
Right? But it ain't played in San Francisco.
in Miami too. That's the thing. It's gonna be in warm weather where the weather's gonna be
awesome.
yes,
Perfect.
And I think Mahomes. I think he's going to go off, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
If Bosa can't get to him, he will.
Yeah, it depends on how good. If that's I love him.
That guy's crazy. Isn't
He's
he?
great.
Maniac.
He's one of the best. I mean, it's like back if they play great defense, back to when everyone thought Carolina's going to run over my Broncos. Remember what happened to I was like, have y'all? I know y'all kind of keep underrating them. Now afterward, they're like one of the best. Yes, and when after like, it was one of the best super. Deep and definitely still for
Are
sure.
we talking about the Broncos again?
I just had to like, hello. I have to. Y'all talked about the Cowboys forever, and it's a good point. It's a good point. Back to this. So speaking of which, if they play good D,
bring the Razorbacks in so we can get that out of the way.
No. But we definitely will talk about. Here's the point: if they play good D, and like which Von Miller, who was the MVP of he can do all this he wants, but it's the truth. But if Bosa plays good D and can contain him and sack him a few times, get him rattled, he's just mad because I've won 3 Super Bowls since he's won. Won last year. Or I hate that for y'all, but he hates it. He hates
He's a Cowboys fan too, right?
Yeah,
yes,
right.
But he's just jelly because I've won 3 since, and he hasn't won one in a while. So,
We'll get there.
Hey, y'all are definitely gonna be winning one before y'all should. If we win one before y'all again, you get my point. Pro Bowl, who's watching that this weekend?
Not me.
I know, right?
I want to watch it because they're gonna try the new.
Oh yeah, new rules. They're gonna test out new rules.
What are the new rules?
Onside kick. I don't know if there's a certain period of time you can use this.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to get the ball back, like an onside kick, instead of doing the traditional onside kick, you can take the ball on your own 20-yard line and get one shot at a 4th and 15. And if you get it, you get the ball back.
Huh.
Yeah.
If you don't, the opponent gets the ball pretty much in the red zone.
So yeah,
I
exactly.
don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, it's kind of iffy. It's kind of like you're
because
giving
if
them,
it doesn't work and it's a close game, they're just gonna kick a field goal and like
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like
4th
it.
and 15
Yeah.
in the red, like on the other end of the field's hard.
Hey, man, did you hear about the new rule that they're going to maybe experiment with in baseball?
No.
The computer calling strikes and balls and strikes?
Oh, I have, yeah.
Hey,
and you do it, yeah.
I'm for that.
It's kind of interesting because what's going to be the deal is the ump is still there.
Yeah, exactly, right? And he can overrule if he wants to,
Yeah.
right?
I think that's kind of cool, right? He's still there. He's still watching. He's got the earpieces in that's saying strike or ball.
Yeah.
But he can actually
Overrule,
human
yeah.
intervention and go, that's a strike.
Yeah.
Yeah, baseball's in a
Right.
place too now with all this stuff, and it's needing some.
Well,
Modern touch to it, maybe.
Well, yeah, but not for cheating purposes, but just
just to kind of it's
enhance the game a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of all changes of any sport, baseball is more traditional than anything.
That's why what's America's pastime, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And that's why you still love it. That's why a lot of the baseball fans love it because it has just been so.
Yeah.
well,
But I think
the-
it
correct.
may-
I don't do too many changes, man. The purists will go like, man, there ain't nothing wrong with that game.
Exactly.
What's wrong with that game is all the corporate money trying to be made, commercial breaks. That's what slows down that game.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's what slows down
Well,
that game,
and
man.
where does it come though? And why I say it slows it down. You should only get maybe like subs in. Anyway, you should only get maybe 3 or 4. All those rotations with pitchers. That's where then it starts slowing it down.
Same thing with football, right? The national championship game. Are you
The
kidding
last
me? That
4
was like-
minutes, the
Yeah.
last 4 or 5 minutes of that was like
Unbelievable.
Are you kidding me?
ridiculous. Oh, even I was sorry to bring it up.
Even-
was watching the Razorback. I forgot what game it was. I think it was Razorback game. Anyway, at the end of the game, point being, in the game, the last minute, the announcer was like, "This last minute has literally lasted what." Like what I forgot what how
Like 20
perfect
minutes real time or
Yes,
something.
exactly.
You man, if you were at the Super Bowl this weekend, I guarantee you, with the commercial breaks, you're gonna the teams are gonna be standing on the field. You're in the stands, going like,
Oh, that's what they'll
Oh, it'll be a
about.
5-hour game.
Yeah.
Can we-
Oh, yeah,
what's
close
going
to, for
on
sure,
here,
yeah.
man?
Close to.
You
All right,
know?
let's get to a little bit of NBA. My Bucks, who I picked, I had Bucks in the NBA Finals. They were 39-6, sitting atop the East right now. Your Celtics right there behind. It seems like they just stayed in fourth. They're at 29-14 in the West. Lakers looking looking pretty good. I didn't have them. Neither one of us had them. I just mentioned.
I think the Lakers are going down.
Well, I hope so too because I have the Clippers. My Clippers, they were sitting right behind him at 31-14. Mavs, who he has the Mavs and the Celtics. I have
the finals.
Yes, he went with the Mavs. Yep.
Hey, the
He was loving
Mavs
some
really
Luka.
surprised me.
The Mavs are a great team.
They are.
Some injuries going on.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
yeah.
But man, that's
Because
a
Pal's
great-
out for the year, which I was going to mention.
Porzingis comes on, we're a
If
good
they
team.
can, because he just
And
came
we
out and
need to
tweeted.
replace
Yeah, he
Pal.
came out and said the other day, me and Luka can be like one of those. I forgot how he worded it, but like pretty much one of those next power.
Yeah, no
There's
doubt.
no question
Yep.
about it, man.
Yeah, Luka's been a freak. I mean, I knew he was good, but like,
Can you
wow.
believe? Can you believe that man?
No.
20-year-old
Yeah,
white
balling.
boy from
Wherever,
Europe?
yeah.
Are you
Balling.
kidding
But
me?
he's been doing it since he was
He was
like
like-
13.
yeah, he's a
playing
baller.
with men, you know.
Yep.
So I didn't know he was gonna do this though. I mean, I
That
knew
not
he was
this
gonna
fast,
be good,
not
but,
that
like,
fast.
No
yeah.
one
He's
did.
dominating.
No one predicted
Yeah,
that.
just got a Jordan deal.
Yeah.
gonna have his own shoe
I
out.
love. Yeah, I'm just loving. So that's what I mentioned after it came out. I'm like, guess who he signed with? And I was
Yeah.
like, loved about two teams. I'm surprised about. One of them you can maybe see coming, but the other one I didn't see so much. They had the same exact record, which is crazy, and both are on flip flop. One's in East, one's in the West. The Heat and the Jazz. He'd have Jimmy Butler, so he's come on big for them, which was a huge addition. He's like the new Dwayne Wade for them, kind of, sort of. And I thought they'd make the playoff as maybe a 5 or 8 seed, but they're both number 2 seed. They're obviously the Jazz are tied with the Clippers at 31-14, but the Heat are sitting right there at second. I'm like, wow, did not see that
Yeah,
coming.
Jazz
is my
are good.
point.
Rudy
yeah.
Gobert,
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
tough.
Yeah, and then they had Donovan Mitchell, who's come on. I remember when he was at
Great.
Louisville, but
Yeah.
now he's balling. I'm sure most of y'all seen the headlines of this. Then Zion's debut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched it. It was great.
Woo! Great. 20 points in less than 20 minutes. 17 straight points in the fourth.
I actually put a little wager on him to score over 12 points. So I watched the whole game, was nervous. He didn't score.
Then
Then that fourth quarter, I thought, here we go.
Here we go.
He hit 4 threes in a row, 17 points in like 2 minutes.
Yep,
Or
17.
15.
17 straight.
He's a
and I
beast,
forgot how many
man.
minutes, but 17
He's
straight.
the real deal.
He's the real deal, and he's huge. He's fast. He's a freak.
Yeah, he's a lot like he'll be a lot like LeBron. He's
Yes.
going to be very
And he's a
powerful.
kid.
Yep, he's like LeBron. I mean, LeBron came out doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know if he didn't do 20 in 20 minutes, but I mean, he came out at 18 years old, and you're just like, that's why I remember seeing Zion. We're like, boy,
He got a Jordan deal too, I'm pretty sure.
yeah. Like that dude should have went pro, and can't unfortunately anymore. But that easily is. He would have went
Yeah, I
straight
mean, you
pro.
remember
He didn't want to go pro.
Yeah. Well, he wanted to stay in Duke.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what's so funny.
Bless his heart, man. He want to stay. No, man, I'm on.
He's like, I want to enjoy these girls and all this fame
Coach K
life.
goes like, dude.
You better go take those contracts. Yeah, you hurt your knee, your elbow, your whatever.
But isn't that refreshing?
It
though?
is. It was.
Yeah, no doubt.
I've liked him.
That
That
he's
was one
going
thing
like,
I've
man, I
liked him.
want to stay at Duke and
Finish.
play.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Dallas, we just obviously talked about them last night. They had a good game, played Portland.
Yeah,
They won
I saw
one.
it.
Yep. And then matchups this weekend. Speaking of which, those same Mavs, they face previously mentioned Jazz. So that's a pretty big matchup this weekend.
Yeah.
They head over to Utah and face the Jazz. Matchup tonight, Friday, Clippers at the Heat. So that'll be
That's a good game.
Yeah, that'll be another good one. To the NCAA, I'm sure did y'all guys see the fight? Kansas State.
I did.
Yes.
That brawl.
Unbelievable.
I love a good sports fight.
Yeah.
I do.
I like a good sports fight too, but this one was too.
I like a good sports fight, but not on the collegiate level.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can get with that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If that was
Jimmy-
NBA, like the
Yeah,
Lakers
yeah.
playing,
Yeah, well, especially back in the day.
the Lakers playing the Celtics,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
things
yeah.
got heated. You
Yeah.
go, yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Ron Artest.
Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that dude throwing
That was
some.
the
The
best.
Yankees playing the Red Sox and
Yeah.
the bench is clear.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
Yeah.
But college, man,
Yeah, and it was sloppy. It was into the game. It was
Yeah, and then the dude
real-
picks up the little stool, and you're just like, really? You about
Come
to try
on.
to throw that? And then
Yeah,
he's
come
on. Yeah,
out.
it was
He's out
just-
12 games now. The other guys were
I'm
up too.
surprised
so.
they didn't. I
It was
thought
indefinitely at
gonna
first.
be-
It wasn't definitely
yeah.
at first, and then they finally just slapped him with 12. So,
Yeah.
which is quite a bit. He's out till pretty much right before the
and
Big 12 tournament.
here's the other problem: Kansas,
yeah,
a
yeah,
brawl
that
in
too.
Kansas,
Yeah,
I
right.
Kansas.
I'm telling you.
That had no effect on the game. They
What?
whooped them. You
No,
know?
it was
like-
like right at the end too. That's what was so weird about it. It was a block at the end of the game. Then
Yeah.
they had which is crazy. You know what they made him do? Did y'all see that? Because they teed him up. So they made after they all that and cleared and all they had to settle it all. They had to then go shoot technical free throws.
with no time on the clock.
No, yes. Did y'all not see the yes? I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. You're really doing that. They made him go shoot the free throws just to keep. I have no idea because that's where I didn't even know until I was watching SportsCenter or whatever I was showing. It's like, and you're really going to make these guys get together again, to keep them out on the court. I think they made a lot of the ones with the heated heads. Obviously, they were back already, but yeah, it was They made him go shoot the free throws. I was like, geez, you got to be kidding me. Yeah, right. Speaking of which, though, my doc, our Final Four picks. Here's our Final Four picks, by the way. We did way so early because Final Four is super hard to do. We just, you know what, when we did this NBA show, or we should say did a basketball show back in November, did our Final Four, and we did our NBA Finals picks. So here's our Final Four. Here's mine. I've got Baylor. They jumped Gonzaga, which we'll get to in a minute. They're at number 1, so I have Baylor in the Final Four. Louisville, who's at 6. Michigan State, they're at 10. But, man, they went down last night, unfortunately. Doc's got Gonzaga. They're at 2. He's got Kansas, speaking of which. They're at 3. And Duke at 8. I had Florida in there. They're kind of mother Cinderella team, and you had UNC, and they're just not. It's not going to happen.
I don't know what
happened. Yeah, that was really weird. They'll get back next year. They have a ridiculous good recruiting class. They'll be good next year, at least definitely better. So that's our Final Four picks. But man, look pretty good, Doc. And speaking of which, like I said last night, unfortunately Michigan State lost. But regardless, doing pretty good with our Final Four picks early on. Still, you get my point. You still got to get seeded and still work your way through the tournament.
Right.
Just like bringing it up. Who do y'all have? Any sight? Not worried. Do y'all watch March Madness?
I'm anticipating Arkansas making the tournament this year.
Hopefully so. We'll get there.
Seeing them play one game.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Do y'all watch it when the time comes? Y'all the TV's on in there?
Yeah.
I'm not big on college.
College.
I lose so much money betting on it.
Oh yeah, you're like I'm done with it now.
I'm done with it.
All right. This weekend, speaking of only not Arkansas, but I will mention this: the Big 12 SEC Challenge. It's only two of my Final Four teams face off. Baylor actually heads to Florida in the Big 12 SEC Challenge, so that'll be interesting to watch.
Nice.
Then number 15 Kentucky at number 18 Texas Tech. So a couple good games to watch. Recapping last weekend, y'all watch any UFC?
Oh, I did watch that.
UFC.
Awesome.
Yeah, everyone loves. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people love McGregor. I love Holly Holm, so I'll watch for Holly Holm. I love her. She's badass. She won.
Is that the redhead chick?
Well, blonde. Yeah, she's blonde.
Yeah.
Blonde, you can call it red, but yeah, the blonde, she's super lean.
Yeah, dude.
Beautiful.
She kicked that girl's ass.
Yes, yeah.
See, I'm just not in all that, man.
Yeah, well.
You guys, I'm just not
I
in
like it, man. I like a good, rough little.
Yeah.
That MMA, that stuff is too rough.
It is.
Like,
It can get
It's
there.
crazy.
That's
Yeah.
kind of the kinky side that you got going on, man.
Yeah, I'm like, rub it up.
All right, you're right. McGregor, and your boy McGregor, he likes McGregor. He likes his attitude. I like his swagger, but I don't like his off the field, but out of the ring antics. You know, him and his
He
crew.
seems like maybe he's going to tone that down some.
He
but
need
we'll
better.
see.
Yeah, exactly. But he won in less than a minute.
Put it this way.
Unbelievable.
Put it this way. I wouldn't want to get in a ring with that dude.
Oh, God, I
hell
wouldn't
no.
want to get in the ring with any
Any
of those
of them.
men
Even
or women.
I don't even want to be in the same room with McGregor.
Yeah, right.
I don't care.
Here's
I don't
my
wanna-
man. My main man, Bones Jones. He comes back at next UFC 247. So that's the one I'll watch. Not a lot of them, but I'll watch this one. I'll be watching 247. That's next month. So I love Bones Jones. That's another guy. Wow.
I won't even go to church with McGregor.
Yeah, right.
Are you kidding me?
He'll be
man?
in there clapping.
Dude, I say amen. He
cursing.
doesn't agree with me.
Yeah, right.
You know, what the heck?
Yeah.
Wrong time to say
Yeah,
amen.
well, man, right? You're going down.
Yeah.
I ain't going to church with him.
Yeah. I'm sure y'all seen the crazy fires over in Australia.
Yeah,
Nuts,
sad,
right?
sad.
Sad. But Australia, and
that's
I love how
terrible.
they kept Australia. So many people have donated. A lot of the tennis players. Australian Open, though, which is crazy, is going on right now during that, which is awesome.
Yeah.
They got a few big rains over the last few. Anyway, it's toned down a bit. The fires have, which has helped out with the rain.
Didn't they have to move it indoors or something?
No, it's still in the same. It's still because
They
a lot of
left
those.
that
Yeah,
outdoor.
exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yep. It's. I've been I love watching. Which is I try to watch all sports. I'll watch a little of the Australian Open. One I will be watching. I got to mention my man, who I definitely think it depends on how it keeps up with this the way he's been playing. But my man Tiger Woods is back in action this weekend at the Farmers Insurance Open. Shot 3 under yesterday, first round. See how he shoots today. Leaders at 6 under. It's full crowd, so everyone's kind of playing. It's at Torrey Pines where he's won a few times. Interesting. Keep my eye on it. We'll see what Tiger does. Now to all things music. Let's get to it. Legacy Music Group, you're here, right? What's up?
What's going on?
Man, how y'all been?
Good.
Busy.
So, what's new? What's new over at Legacy Music Group?
Couple new clients, I guess. With,
Who's the big guy? Come on, let's Dally Voodoo. Is it Dally?
Dolly.
Is Dolly Voodoo?
Yeah.
Dolly Voodoo is the
And it's who we're trying to get him in today.
he was at the studio real late. I'm sure he's still asleep right now. Actually, he was up working with Ray, but we were able to get Ray up.
Yeah, we drug Ray in, which is good.
Dolly's a local Dallas kid who we've been working with for about a year. We've signed him to a little songwriting and production deal. He's the new biggest, freshest thing out of Dallas that we're trying to put some attention on and get him some exposure.
How's that been like? And y'all are there this just for the music side. I know you're there supporting all the music videos, but y'all do have any end on that? Is that all on him? Who's doing the music videos?
Jeff Adair, he's one of the best video directors in Dallas. Great.
Because I say they're beautiful. That's what I'm saying. They're pretty cool music videos.
4K, awesome, stunning quality, amazing. So I've known Jeff for years. So we kind of let him use his creative vision, and obviously my input, Ray's input, Dolly's input. We kind of stay centralized to that. But I trust Jeff enough to kind of say, hey, whatever you have in mind, let's do it.
And y'all do how's it? Because I've always wondered how do y'all do the sound part? Y'all correlate together, and he does the video part, and y'all are kind of putting the sound.
I mean, the music is done, mixed,
that's what I'm saying.
mastered,
So
completely
y'all
finished.
He goes through and just makes a video, and then you just put the track in underneath.
No,
right?
he does we don't do anything.
That's what I'm saying. But the track's already done, so he gets the video, edits it all up, makes it look beautiful, and then y'all just put the track in with it, and then it's just like, wow, artwork, right?
Yeah.
That's essentially.
Well,
how
no,
it
I
works.
mean he puts the track on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, well, I didn't say that's what I'm saying. It's,
Okay,
he
yeah,
does all the
like,
editing.
He's saying
Yeah, I
two
got
people.
you.
Yeah, yeah, it's already done. But yeah, he has it all. It's because that's ridiculous. Because I do some editing, not that to that extreme. It's like
Yeah,
it's
I
like
mean,
music.
it took that process of shooting. We shot in one day, from about 8 a.m. to probably 6. So a 10-hour shoot, 3 or 4 locations, 3 or 4 outfits changes, and then about 6 weeks later we have the product.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's crazy.
Because the video director, there's a process. He'll send you edit 1. Oh, we don't like that. We don't like this. We love this.
Yeah.
Edit 2. And then by edit 3, he's kind of rendered it down, added his effects and everything, and then it really...
That's awesome. Yeah, I've seen those, so I was just
awesome.
wondering exactly if y'all had any correlation with that, and being that y'all's artists and how much input.
Yeah,
y'all
we're
had.
shooting another one actually Monday because his second single just came out today, actually.
Sweet.
So we'll be shooting another one with Jeff next week.
So not this Sunday, but next year, going to the Grammys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Right.
Let's put it out there.
All right, let's do it. And speaking of which, y'all, we're going to be watching on Sunday.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Nominations you look forward to most?
I enjoy the whole show. I just kind of like to see each individual host or performer's personality on that stage.
Right. And
because
did
it's
you
like
see
biggest
the
night.
controversy that came out? I guess the main CEO or the person, forgot exactly how it's worded, but have you ever seen the controversy that came out? The president or whatever of that
Grammys.
Yeah, exactly.
Recording Academy.
Exactly. They obviously have like all of us sit around this table and they come up with who's going to be like record of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, supposedly, and that she's been supposedly fired or let go, whatever, because she's now coming out and saying here's what's wrong with it. People like one of the person that one song I guess they didn't release the name, but they just came out with the facts. They don't want to put like the artist under the table, but they said not only was this artist at that round table that was on the committee or whatever. However, I don't understand that, but was on the committee. But then was also when they actually went through the ranking, they all placed them in who should win artist or record of the whatever it was, record of the year. Mm-hmm. They were 16th, and yet still won. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
What category was it?
It was record of the year. Just I don't think they went through, but I don't feel like
From last year?
I can't remember. They didn't break down
That
the
was
year.
Cardi
It
B.
was on the news. Yeah. I'll look it up real quick. But yeah, and Doc, real quick, do you watch the Grammys?
No,
You don't watch the Grammys?
I don't.
Man.
I do not. It's a different
Pop culture.
Well, it's pop culture. It's become, and I'm not knocking this. It's more production than it is about music.
True. And unfortunately, this whole game we're playing is kind of like that,
Yeah, right. And I'm not knocking it. That's just the way the industry has.
And this is surrounding 2018 Grammys. I've seen that kind of scamming through.
Okay.
So I pay attention to who afterwards. I pay attention who was awarded like Jazz Album of the Year and
Yeah, see all that stuff they don't even
They
air.
don't. You don't even get that.
Yeah.
Now, if they got that, if they aired that, I'd be interested, right?
Right,
But it's all the pop culture stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm not as into that. That's your line of work.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
it too.
So
And
for
then
you, that's
yeah.
like a
'cause
staff meeting, man.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, especially now that we're directly working with Dolly and managing him and supporting him. I mean, for me, this is almost like our competition.
Well,
our
I was just going to say
competitors.
you can't compete.
We're trying to
unless you-
share the market with
Right.
these same guys.
Correct.
So
Right.
It's like the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then that was the other thing too. Now, some of the times people that represented those clients were on the board. So obviously, yeah, anyway, it's a little twist, and then the other thing was sexual misconduct, but there was other things. But
Of course.
yes, of course, lately. But
Yeah.
that was I just wanted to see if y'all had seen that. I'm like, man, that's kind of which.
I mean, doesn't surprise me.
Yes.
I mean, this is a
and all
hard, crazy.
sports, whatever.
Are you implying that there's
Foul play.
politics and foul play in music?
A tad.
What are you suggesting?
Performances you're looking forward to seeing. Did y'all see the Nipsey? No, I can't even talk right now. This Nipsey Nipsey. I can't even talk right now.
Nipsey Hussle.
Yes, the tribute they're doing.
No, I have not.
Yeah.
I just saw that yesterday. Did you see it?
No, I
Oh
haven't
yeah,
seen it.
they're doing one for him. It includes John Legend, Kirk Franklin, DJ Khaled, Meek Mill, Roddy
Awesome.
Ricch, YG. I think other people too.
Oh,
yeah.
that's gonna be nice.
Yeah, so Nipsey, yeah, that's what I was like, anyway. So, I didn't know if y'all saw that. Just a few little different things. I didn't know if y'all look forward to any of the you'll watch it from start to finish for the most part.
Yeah, see, I haven't really seen many commercials for it. I don't really watch TV that much in general, so all the little stuff building
Good for
up,
you, man.
I don't really know.
No,
Good for
you
you.
I'll just turn it on Sunday to watch, you know.
You're busy working.
Well, I'm just an internet nerd. I'd rather
There we
be
go.
on my computer.
I like it. And there's a ton of
And I'm usually working when I'm on my computer.
yeah, there's a lot of performances. Ariana Grande to Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani. I guess are doing a
I
duet
think,
together. Aerosmith.
Nice.
Is
Run DMC's doing something. I think that may be with Aerosmith. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Alicia Keys hosting?
Yep, as she did last year. She
I
does
thought
a great
she did
job.
last year.
Yep.
She did do a great job. I guess
Yep.
that's why they had her back.
We
Yep.
lost last year too, for Mac Miller Swimming.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that because I do.
Yeah, we had a
remember that now.
nomination for
Did you really?
Yeah.
Good for you guys, man.
Do y'all-
Which it's still weird because the terminology now is like, so Ray engineered on the album. We were the studio involved. So it's like he's how do you say it?
Grammy nominated engineer.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's kind of weird because that's kind of the same thing that the people who did win the Grammy, you know, except they're
You know what that
Grammy
means,
winners.
right? Grammy nominated engineer. You know what that means?
I didn't win.
You lost.
Yeah.
It's time to get back and take that ring.
But it's actually a win because to get there.
Oh man, that's
is-
huge. That's cool to think
it's
that.
hard.
Yeah. How does it
We
make you
were-
feel?
I when I get my little certificate, I'll feel better.
Yeah. Knowing that it's for sure, it's in your hands.
Yeah.
It's been done.
I'll
No,
feel
man.
better.
You know, I'm giving you grief because that's quite an honor, man. Even
Yeah.
even to be nominated, that's quite an honor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's cool. That whole Mac Miller thing was just, it was all cool.
Man, it
Yeah,
was cool.
that's neat.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the next step for you guys?
This year we're really focused on Dolly. We're doing all things Dolly.
You're throwing all eggs in one basket there.
Yeah. I mean, we still have to keep our day-to-day business going. We've developed a really great relationship with Def Jam. They've been signing tons of talent in
Everybody.
Dallas. They've probably signed about 15 pop and
Yeah.
hip-hop acts.
Yeah.
And so they've kind of chose us as their studio. So our relationship with them is growing.
That's huge. That's
And
awesome.
yeah, it's great. They kind of help keep our cash flow up. So we're just going to kind of nurture those label relationships this
That's good.
year. And
I think
work
it's a
on
good game
Dolly.
plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you always hear people say, yeah, well, don't put all your eggs in one basket. See, I'm the opposite. I think you should put your eggs in one basket and then watch that basket.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, we've never done it this way, you know, with
Yeah.
all eggs in one basket.
yeah.
But
Watch that, man.
And then watch that basket,
All right.
man.
More music. 50 best-selling albums of all time worldwide. Go over it. Breakdown of who there's. Everyone else. I should say all the other people obviously have one, but there are select few that have two. Even a less select few that have three. Three on the list. Michael Jackson. He has 3. Whitney Houston has 3. Pink Floyd has 3. That's ridiculous. 2 with 2 each. The Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Mariah Carey, Eminem, Madonna, Celine Dion, Phil Collins, Adele. There's only 6. Count them 6 from the 2000s. This decade. That's it. Norah Jones, Linkin Park
wow,
with the Hybrid Theory, which that's the reason I even saw this because I follow a lot of their, and they said, hey, they actually made the top 50 because it sold over 20 mil worldwide. Adele and Eminem, like I said, with 2. So Adele, Eminem, Norah Jones, Linkin Park, they're the only artists this decade that have that moved over 20 million units. Others, and it pretty much is a list from, you got to, obviously, like we said, Michael Jackson, he's number 1. Thriller, we never really knew. The most calculated number they could come up with is 65.8 million worldwide. So ridiculous amount. We've heard 100 before. You just never knew. What's next is second, and I remember because my friend we used to love it back in the day because we'd pair it up with The Wizard of Oz. But
Pink
at number
Floyd.
2 is Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon because I think it still holds the record. I know it did back in the early 2000s because Mitch, one of my best friends, told me this because like I said, we used to watch it. He was like, dude, back when it first came out, it was in the top 200 it was like 200 or 200. It was like it was years. It was years. Like 5 or 10 years, it was in the top 200. Did not move out of there. So that's one of the reasons. But yeah, it's at 43.3. So Michael Jackson's a full 22 mil ahead of the pace there. Whitney Houston, The Bodyguard, pretty much the soundtrack to that. 41.1 mil. So there's your top 3 right there. Rolling down some more lists, Grease, which is crazy. That soundtrack. That's it. So 2 soundtracks in the top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Led Zeppelin 4. That would be that album. AC/DC, Back in Black. Fleetwood Mac with Rumors. That's all right there in the mid to upper 30s. Now we got Bee Gees. There's their one-time entry. Michael Jackson's second entry. He has 2 in the top 10. Bad at number 9 has pushed 33.6 million. So in 2 albums in a row, because I think those were back to back.
Bad was right after Thriller, right?
Yeah, that's what I.
So that's kind of the. It reaped the benefit of
Oh,
Thriller.
yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
for sure, for sure. It had some good songs, not nearly as many, but it had
Right.
some. Regardless, with those 2 albums, he sold 100 million records.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
Not too bad. Then to round out the top 10, which is crazy, one from the midnight. We got 2. I'll
And he
mention
did
them.
all that when they were paying you full price for all that
Yes.
too.
Right.
Back to back from the 90s, 2 ladies to kind of round out the top. Well, 10 and 11, which is funny, but awesome, strong. Anyway, still people you'd hear of today. Alanis Morissette and then Shania Twain. So that kind of round out the top 10. Which is crazy. I can't believe Dire Straits at number 12 or 13, I should say. That was another one. Pink Floyd, they have 2 in the top 13 or 12, I should say. They have The Wall at number 12. So just some tidbits in there. Another one that was, obviously Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction, Eagles, Hotel California. Go on and on. So all the way down to the list. So it's pretty much what 19.8 mil and above, essentially. So it's almost everything that sold 20 million units or more. And that would be Mariah Carey with Whitney to kind of top out the 50. But so what do you guys think about that list? Kind of makes sense though, right? When you think about it. When I was breaking it down, I'm like, man. But here's a couple of surprises. Like even this one, Tracy Chapman sold 22.5 million. That one from '88. I'm like, I can't believe. My favorite song, remember, is "Give Me One Reason to Stay Here." That one from the '90s. That was that one. That other, but I was like,
didn't she the Little Red Car?
Yep, Little Red. That's from that album. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Yep. So there's not many surprises. Seeing the Beatles in here a couple times. Nirvana's Nevermind, and you think of Never, obviously like that. Oh, James Horner. When you think of that, I saw like what? Titanic soundtrack. And then you're like, oh, duh, okay.
Come on, man. Where's Bing Crosby White Christmas?
That's down here at 74. I'm just kidding. I wish they would do it. That's why I wish they'd just round this out to, like the top 100. Maybe they did 150, so you could really see. Yeah, because you don't see really anything before Beatles, the 60s on here. They're the only thing in the 60s that then you see a lot from the 70s and 80s on here.
Yeah.
So let's get to it. It's now time for the chamber.
The chamber.
We're taking these fellas right over here back, and it sits atop a snowy Alp called Mount Rushmore. Let's do it, guys. Our top albums of all time. Let's give our top 4. Have y'all thought long and hard? I gave y'all yesterday. Doc only had the show.
You just hit me with
I
that.
did.
Man.
I kind of forgot to say because I meant to tease it last week.
I did my list, but it's kind of like just my personal list.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what I was saying earlier too. We did the Mount Rushmore. This is kind of more personal. This
is definitely personal.
It's a little more personal than like I said. If we did top quarterbacks all the time, you can throw. Who's your guy from the 70s?
My guy from the 70s?
The quarterback.
Oh, Roman Gabriel?
Roman Gabriel. Yeah, you can throw your old school fate, whatever. You can throw your Matt, say if you want to throw Matt. You usually are going to put your Tom Brady's. You know what I mean? You're going to stick to the GOATs. This one's a little more personal. So, I'll go first. Are y'all ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's go it. All right, Legacy Music Group. Let's give your Mount Rushmore.
So I'm gonna start off with Bone Thugs and Harmony, East 99.
That's
That's
great.
the first CD that I ever purchased. I must have been 12 or 13 years old.
and
went with my father to Hastings, and he bought the explicit content for me. And
I think it was one of the first ones I remember buying in '96. I remember.
Yeah.
And what's funny, my mom's car didn't have a CD player on the way, so I brought it on the way. I could not wait to get the CD. I brought my portable, the boom box, and I set it in her car and jammed that on the way home in the boom box.
Yeah, I don't think my dad listened, but I for sure got home and jammed it out. The next one I got is Fleetwood Mac, Rumors.
Oh, there you go. It's on the list. So this is on the top 50 all time.
Classic, iconic albums.
One of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, great music. I was put onto that young age by my parents and just have always been in tune with it. People have sampled it. People have used it. And great stuff. The next one is Post Malone, Stoney.
Oh, nice.
That was our first platinum plaque at Legacy since he worked with us on some of those songs. So that just has too much personal connection.
It's a good album though too.
Not to have it on there.
Yeah.
Which kind of flows into my next one, which is the Mac Miller album.
Oh, okay.
Just because we worked on it, and more so than Post, we got a great relationship with Post, but Mac really just kind of overtook us with his artisticness, I guess. You know,
kindness.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just
He was
such
such
a
a regular
joy to work
person.
with.
Yeah,
him.
you could tell that like
And then
videos
when
and stuff you
something
saw.
big came out of it, no, maybe not in his eyes, but to us, some huge accomplishments.
Right.
You know, we're just thankful for that.
Ray, hit us up.
I got swimming too. Mac Miller, Astro World, Travis Scott.
All right.
The Platinum album by Queen.
Oh wow.
It's the
All
greatest
right.
hits.
Yeah, that's
I
not.
love
Yeah.
it. And Thriller, Michael Jackson.
Boom. I mean, nice. Doc, you mean to go ahead and go, Doc? Are you ready?
I'm ready, man.
All right, let's hit it up. Your Mount Rushmore.
My Mount Rushmore best album.
Top albums of all time.
Number 4, Miles Davis, Bitches Brew.
Ooh, love it.
Number 3, John Coltrane, Love Supreme. Number 2, Miles Davis, Kind of Blue.
Oh, kind of. That's the name of the album, Kind of Blue.
Kind of Blue. And my number 1 all-time favorite album, Black Ark Arkansas, Jim Dandy to the Rescue.
Oh yeah, right. yeah.
But it was close between Black Oak, Arkansas, and Uriah Heep.
Oh yeah. Oh man. And I think that's them calling you right now. They want their spot in. Hey, can we get in real quick? I don't think
Next podcast.
Yeah, right. Thanks for the shout out, Doc. All right, I'm right there with you. I've got at my 4. I've got MJ Thriller. I mean,
Right.
speaking of all the just real quick, the hits from that album. Wanna Be Starting Something, The Girl Is Mine, Beat It, Billie Jean, PYT, Thriller. I mean, and I think that was the first. Somehow Katy Perry did it, but the only album, and I'm still not gonna give her credit, but anyway, the only album to have 5 number 1 songs from one album. Eagles, Hotel California. I'm gonna have that at number 3. I love it. I mean, tons of hits on that. Take It Easy, Take It to the Limit, New Kid in Town, Witchy Woman, One of These Nights,
Yeah,
Hotel
that's good.
California, Already Gone. I mean, that's
Classic.
probably I don't have. Should have been a lot of number 1s. The more personal here, but although which is funny, all 4 of mine are on the top 50 best-selling of all time, which is funny, weird enough. Linkin Park, close to me, kind of like a lot of the ones. This had something me growing up, and a lot of the things I went through. Not that I had to go that much in high school, but when you get angry or pissed off, you had to go listen to that and help you.
Yeah.
I love Linkin Park, and still to this day. And number 1, which is funny, these top 2. This was like when we back in the day, and we mentioned it to y'all when we had our top concerts of all time. I had these 2 guys. One of them closed it out, and these were the ones closing it out, I think. Anyway, closing it out, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. I can listen to that literally from start to finish any day of the week. It is a little weird, a little different musical style, but man, and
great, though.
it's
It is easy to
beautiful.
listen
It's
to.
just something totally different. How each song runs into the next. I don't know what that's called. Where one song and you don't even know when this new song begins. There's
Yeah, I'm
something.
not.
I don't think
Linkin
it's a
Park's-
name for it.
yeah.
I think there is though.
Because I've looked it up. Linkin Park tried to do it, not a whole album, but yeah, I think
Yeah, they
I'm
did
pretty,
do it once.
Yeah, but it's beautiful when it's done because you just how one runs right into the next. You're just like, this is wow, a lot of beautiful. And then when you can put it in with the Wizard of Oz, and it's kind of crazy on top of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Really cool. Real quick though, I do have to give a shout out a real stud this week. Arkansan, but a baseball player, Mr. Torrey Hunter, and Kenny Lofton. I don't know if you saw this, Doc, but they started. It's called Still Got Game. It's it's called the Still Got Game Foundation, and what they're going to do, which you spoke of highly, and of course we've had other players on, and who was our boy Sean Penn certainly could speak to this. We had Sean Penn on, by the way.
Yeah, I saw you sent me the pictures. That's awesome.
Anyway,
Has that one come out?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was, yeah.
God, regardless, they're speaking to young kids. They're going around speaking to young kids about finances. So I didn't really look up to the basics and how it's all, what all and who all signs them up if they go around and do it themselves. But it's called Still Got Game Foundation. I saw it the other day on one of the news, like it was on ESPN. They kind of just get pretty much like what I'm doing, a shout out to him, like, hey, good job, Torrey Hunter, Kenny Lofton for doing this. More younger kids, I'm like, all these kids, all these 5 and 4 stars going into high school, and of course a lot of them didn't get into college. When they're in exactly, they're about to be seeing a lot of money they haven't ever
Right,
seen before, and how do they need to work those finances?
Yeah, that's
so
good.
they're
Very
going
good.
around talking to those kids and even other kids, like, hey, maybe you don't get signed, maybe you're gonna go find a job, and
Right.
you're only gonna make 40 people
But
don't
you
make
still
much
gotta manage
anymore.
your 40 grand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 40, 50K a year. That's what I'm saying. If you only get 40, 50K or 30K a year, imagine that. A lot of people don't make that much sometimes. So
Correct.
anyway, big shout out to Torrey Hunter for doing that. Obviously, Kenny Lofton too. I think there's a few others that have signed up and they're going around, and
Yeah, that's good.
certainly cool. Until next week, because we do have next week's show.
Yes. Yo, you want me to announce? Oh, man. We got it going next week, man. We have joining us on Stud and Dud from Mexico. He's down in Mexico, but he will be joining us. His name is Nick Leckie. You guys know Nick Leckie?
No, it sounds kind of familiar.
Nick Leckie won the Super Bowl with New Orleans. He was Drew Brees' center.
Oh, wow.
He was the center for the Saints when they won the Super Bowl.
Awesome.
He is now located in Kansas City and runs maybe the most popular sports podcast in Kansas City.
Oh.
And he's going to be live streaming in with us from Mexico.
Maybe you can give some tidbits on how to get up to that level.
To talk all things Super Bowl and the big game coming up, and of course his experience in the Super Bowl, and of course being Drew Brees' center for years. So
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
It's going to be fantastic.
Cannot wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, that TC wouldn't even tell me. He had to wait till the show. Come on.
There's a
Now
lot.
you know.
Hey,
Now I know.
Hey,
Now we all know.
Just between you guys, and there's a lot I don't tell him.
Quite sure. I'm quite sure. What to watch this weekend? Not too much going on, but definitely watch the Grammys. Come on, dog.
Yeah.
Give it a tune.
One time, dog.
Come on, just watch it for a minute.
All right, I'll watch it
Come
for a
on.
little bit.
Next week, we'll have yet another guest, which you just talked about, and we're going to talk all things Super Bowl, obviously.
Yeah.
Football. He's in Kansas City now, so I know he's got a lot to talk about up there. Who's he rooting for? Is he rooting for the Saints still? Is he rooting for KC?
Man, it's gonna
Can't
be
wait to talk.
well,
Obviously, from food, Super Bowl food. Certainly, we're going to talk about our all-time favorite Super Bowl foods. But we're also going to talk about our favorite Super Bowl memory. You got one, Doc? It's going to be hard to narrow them down. We go over a couple of them, but I've got mine. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I've got mine probably. We'll go over a couple. I've got a few that I can remember from, I think it was the Super Bowl. Who was it running on the sideline? Again, Don Beebe caught him, and then he fumbled out of the end zone with the Bills and the Cowboys.
I think.
Yeah, Leon Lett, I think.
Yeah.
I think my best Super Bowl memory was when I was 1984 Chicago Bears, when I was in the locker with Dick Butkus during
guy.
halftime.
See? He
That was-
hangs
that was
with
a
the
lot
big
of-
guys.
that was a lot of fun.
Well, then afterwards,
But I don't know. I gotta
Miles
think about
Davis
it.
after that. And then Black Oak, Arkansas, he was performing with Black Oak that night.
Like, wow.
Halftime performer.
Yeah, right. Wait, wasn't it Black Oak, Arkansas halftime performance that year you were doing with him?
Yeah, they did the halftime
You-
show.
No, you were playing the piano with him. What are you talking about? Don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, SoundCloud to hear all the episodes. Thank you all for listening. Once again, thank you, Matt and Ray.
Thank you,
Legacy
guys.
Music
Thanks for
Group.
having us.
Thank
Once
you.
again, where can everyone find you? Social media. Where you at?
Ray_Dallas.
Legacy Music Group, legacymusicgroup.com.
Where can we find you in real life?
Deep Ellum, 2815 Main Street. Come hang out in Deep Ellum.
Yeah.
Great restaurants, great drinks, great music.
Good stuff, man.
Awesome,
So
man.
glad to have you guys back on again right before the Grammys. Talk a little music, talk some music, your favorite albums of all time. So good to have you
Awesome,
back
man.
on. Next week, a little more football.
A little more football.
Chiefs or 49ers? You still
If
can't.
you're gonna
just
make
good
me
game,
pick,
yeah.
I'm gonna go Andy Reid.
Oh, okay. We're gonna pull for him in the end. We're gonna go Chiefs, and
Chiefs.
I'm going 49. I cannot see the Chiefs. If they win, well, that's the one thing at least I can go, okay. Andy Reid got his ring. I like Patrick Mahomes. Is a good guy. I mean, he's honestly a great quarterback, but he's a good person.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable quarterback.
So, till next week, I'm Josh Smith. Guys from Legacy Music Group.
Matt Medlock.
Ray Dallas.
Bob Lawrence.
Peace.
Peace.
Thank you.